Imagine a computer so small it could vanish behind your monitor, yet powerful enough to crush editing. Gaming and AI workloads without a whisper. A machine that embodies Apple's obsession with elegance and performance. A whisper of aluminum hiding a storm of silicon. And this whisper now has a name that's echoing through the tech world, the M5 Mac Mini. For months, insiders, leakers, and Apple watchers have been piecing together fragments of clues buried deep inside macOS code. Production schedules and supply chain whispers, all pointing to a next-generation Mac Mini that could rewrite the meaning of small-form computing. The story begins in Cupertino, where Apple's engineers have reportedly been testing new hardware identifiers, code names like J837s, J873G, and J873s spotted in early macOS Tahoe builds, the upcoming version 26 of macOS. According to sources, these tags link directly to unreleased Mac Mini prototypes running on Apple's mysterious new M5 and M5 Pro chips. But here's the twist. While some reports hint that Apple is eyeing an ambitious late 2025 launch window, others claim the Mini will hold its debut until early 2026, coinciding with the Mac Studio refresh. The uncertainty only fuels the hype, because when Apple stays silent, curiosity explodes. Now let's peel back the aluminum lid and imagine what Apple might be building. If leaks from Apple Insider, Tom's Guide, and Tech Radar are to be believed, the M5 Mac Mini won't be just another iterative update. It'll be a calculated leap. Built on TSMC's rumored 2-nanometer process, the M5 chip promises breathtaking efficiency, cooler thermals, and the kind of power that used to live only inside high-end desktops. We're talking about a neural engine redesigned from the ground up to accelerate real-time AI processing, smarter photo and video enhancements, and workflows that adapt to you. It's the heart of what Apple calls the next chapter of intelligent computing. And while the M5 Pro variant could push even further, with more GPU cores, higher unified memory bandwidth, and perhaps 64GB RAM support, the real magic might be in how quietly it performs. A tiny silver box humming through cinematic renders, 4K timelines, and 3D simulations as if it's taking a stroll in the park. But the most fascinating part? Apple might not change the outer design at all. Reports say the company believes the Mac Mini's form factor is already near perfection. Compact, symmetrical, iconic. So the M5 model could retain the same minimalist chassis, same brushed metal finish, and same whisper-quiet operation that creators love. Yet inside, every millimeter could be re-engineered. Upgraded Thunderbolt 5 ports for faster data, support for dual 8K displays, possibly Wi-Fi 7 connectivity, and an enhanced thermal system to sustain the M5's power without throttling. Imagine that, an invisible beast dressed in silence. Apple's design philosophy has always been about balance. Power meets simplicity, speed meets calm. The M5 Mini could become the ultimate expression of that mantra. Let's talk about timing, because every Apple rumor has a rhythm. Analysts tracing Apple's roadmap believe 2025 will be dominated by MacBook Air and MacBook Pro models running M5 chips, while desktop refreshes come later. That could mean the Mac Mini's turn arrives in 2026, but history tells a different story. The last time Apple delayed the Mac Mini, it returned with a massive jump in performance and price-to-power ratio. So a 2025 surprise release isn't off the table. Tom's Guide even reported that Apple might quietly unveil it alongside other M5 devices at the fall event, possibly October, a month when Apple loves to drop game changers. Still, the Tech Radar timeline leans toward 2026, hinting Apple wants a synchronized desktop rollout with Mac Studio and Mac Pro. Either way, the clock is ticking and Apple's silence is deafening. Here's where the narrative gets even juicier. macOS Tahoe itself may hold the key to Apple's plans. Developers have already spotted traces of new hardware targets embedded in pre-release builds, references that don't match any existing Mac. That means Apple's internal testing is well underway, and when Apple tests hardware this early, a launch is never far behind. Some insiders claim the M5 Mini is currently in advanced prototype stage, machines locked in Apple's secret labs where performance numbers are reportedly mind-blowing. If true, we could be looking at CPU gains up to 25–30% over the M4, and GPU performance 40% higher, all while drawing less power. That's not just impressive, it's disruptive, especially for professionals who depend on compact workstations. But what does all this mean for everyday users? Picture a small desktop that handles 8K video editing, AI-assisted music composition, and multi-app workflows with zero lag, a device that stays icy cool and nearly silent even under load. Whether you're a designer, developer, or YouTuber, the M5 Mac Mini could be the ultimate value machine. And with Apple's push toward AI-driven features in macOS 26, smart project suggestions, automatic scene cuts, context-aware Siri actions, the M5 chip will be the engine that makes it all seamless. It's Apple's vision of a computer that doesn't just follow commands but anticipates them. Of course, we can't ignore the business logic behind this move. Apple's M-series strategy has always revolved around scalability. They build one architecture that rules them all, from iPads to Mac Pros. The M5 chip is set to unify Apple's ecosystem even tighter, allowing apps, AI models, and workflows to transition effortlessly across devices. For developers, that's a dream. For competitors, a nightmare. Imagine writing an AI-driven app on a Mac Mini M5 and running it identically on an iPad Pro M5. That's not convenience, it's dominance. Still, skeptics remain cautious. Some analysts warn that Apple's production timelines could slip due to TSMC's 2nm yield challenges. If chip manufacturing slows down, we might see the Mac Mini M5 postponed, aligning with the rumored 2026 desktop cycle. Others suggest Apple could launch a limited M5 version in late 2025 and reserve the M5 Pro variant for 2026. That staggered strategy would let Apple maintain momentum while perfecting the Pro model's thermals. After all, the Mac Mini's small chassis leaves little room for heat management, and squeezing high-wattage silicon into that enclosure is an engineering ballet only Apple can perform. Still, this uncertainty hasn't dampened fan excitement. Social media forums and Reddit threads are overflowing with speculative renders, mock-ups, and wish lists. Some fans dream of RGB lighting, others of a matte black edition, and a few dare to imagine a modular Mac Mini Pro. Realistically, Apple will probably stick to its minimalist DNA, but if the M5 Mini delivers the rumored AI performance and desktop-class power, it won't need cosmetic flair. The performance will speak louder than design. What's fascinating is how Apple has turned secrecy into marketing. Every leak, every hint, every whispered codename fuels anticipation. It's no coincidence that M5 references started appearing right as competitors like Intel and Qualcomm unveiled their own AI-centric CPUs. Apple plays the long game, letting others shout while it builds in silence, then dropping a product that shifts the entire market overnight. The M5 Mac Mini could be that next shockwave. Let's imagine the launch day. Apple's stage is dark, music swelling, and then the Mac Mini M5. A sleek 3D animation shows the chip spinning, transistors glowing, benchmarks flashing across the screen. A voice says, "The world's most efficient desktop just got smarter." The camera pans to the same beloved Mac Mini design, but now it's faster, cooler, more capable than ever. Apple will likely highlight AI capabilities, developer workflows, and macOS Tahoe's new neural integration features, painting a future where your Mac does more thinking for you. And when pre-orders open, you can bet it will sell out within hours. At its core, though, the M5 Mac Mini represents something bigger. It's not just a product. It's Apple's message to the industry. Small can be mighty, silence can be power, and innovation doesn't always scream, it whispers. From the outside, it may look the same, but inside, it's a completely new heartbeat. For creators, coders, and dreamers who've been waiting for a compact Mac that truly rivals desktops twice its size, this might be the moment. So, where does that leave us? As 2025 winds down and Apple's fall event approaches, all eyes will be on Cupertino. Will the M5 Mac Mini make a surprise debut? Will Apple hold it until 2026 for a grander reveal alongside the Mac Studio? Nobody outside those glass walls truly knows. But one thing is certain. The M5 Mac Mini isn't just another rumor. It's a symbol of what comes next in personal computing. Because in Apple's world, every silence has meaning, every delay hides ambition, and every tiny box can change the world. And when that aluminum lid finally lifts, we'll see not just a Mac Mini, but the next chapter in the story of how power, intelligence, and elegance can fit in the smallest possible frame. So stay tuned, because the quietest revolution in tech history might just be about to begin.